Hello everybody and welcome back to Hebrew Israelite Gaming. Today we're going to go through how to use your Overdrive on Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I'm doing this mainly because Nintendo has decided to finally bless us with a port, a high definition port of Xenoblade Chronicle X to the Nintendo Switch. And I know everybody just like me is excited and waiting to have it. The first thing I want to go through is your gear. Then I want to go through, and this is about just like even having just the basics in order to be able to master your Overdrive. The thing is that I'm doing a post game, but if you want to do a post end game, sorry, I'm doing a post end game setup. And if you want to do a pre-game setup, let me know. I can always restart my game and play it on another file. But let me tell you something. If there's anything that I can say about Xenoblade Chronicles X, is that I love this game more than any other game in the series. I really and truly love this game. I like the story behind Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It was a really nice story. I didn't really like the gameplay because I feel like I had been spoiled by Xenoblade Chronicles X gameplay and how the overworld is and the story. I completely love the story of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I know a lot of you will agree with me, that Xenoblade Chronicles X is actually the best out of all four games. And I know there's Xenosaga and stuff like that for Nintendo 3DS and stuff like that. Never played it, don't plan to, unless I really see some good reviews about it. Then I'll probably buy it and play it. But Xenoblade Chronicles X will always rest as one of the best games I've ever played in my entire existence as a gamer. And that is actually really and truly saying a lot. I don't usually do post gameplays. Once I'm done with a game, once I've done the storyline, it is very rare for me to go back and play that game. And that was even the same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I thought I was going to go back and play the game after I was done with it, but that definitely was not the case, and I didn't go back and play it. But let's get into it. Let's get into our setup, our gear, our weapons, our mastery line and things like that. Alright guys, so here we are. So the first thing I want to talk about is your setup, your weapon setup. And before I even get into that, let me just say this. I know how I've grinded like a lot post game, and the internet went for Wii, so we couldn't even get much stuff. But what I have is nothing compared to what I've seen a lot of other people have. But with my setup thus far, I've finally been able to defeat Farsis the Ever Queen, which I know was one of the most powerful post-game bosses. Anyway, we're going to get into certain things like the weapons and the gear. And one of the main things I want to also say is this: anything with the ability to do potential up, I would just use it, because as you're going to see, like as we go along, you're gonna see that I only have like basically random mix matched clothing gear, where it's just, and I just like beef it up to the furthest it can go, with the potential up. So potential up really is potential up because it really helps you in what you're doing right now. So as I would say right now, let's look at what I got. Alright, so my first weapon is the dual guns Ultra Nebulon Didads 2, and with it I have the weapon attack power up, the overdrive counter up, and the appendage crusher. And like I said before, these are just things I just threw on the weapon, and then I just, like, you know, upgraded them, things like that. All right, then let's move on to the next weapon. Next is the Ultra Diamond Riv, and with that I have the melee attack up, weapon attack up, and melee accuracy up. Now next up we have the helmet, which is the Ultra Infinite Casca, and I have, you know, it already comes with a potential on it, and then it had one slot that I put the another potential up on it. I had a double X potential on it, so I put the double X on it. Yeah, so for the vest or the shirt, we have a regional bulwark, and as I've told you before, you know, try to find a uniform clothing gear that has potential already on it, and then with the empty slot you just drop another potential on it, which is what I did with this. For the left arm, I have a advanced valor sleeve. So as I was saying before, is that one of the main things you're gonna notice about my thing, it's gonna be a lot of mixed matched stuff, and you know, because of that you're going to see a lot of different clothing on him. It's not a complete clothing, but it's something that really works for me. Right, for the right arm, it's gonna be advanced regional rest, and this one, as you can see, it doesn't have any potential up, but it does have a max HP up, and I put on a max TP up. TP is very important in the game, so you know, I call it tissue paper point tissue paper, but it's very important. Last but not least is going to be ultra regal tithes for your, you know, your footwear, and that has, you know, max TP up already on it, so I dropped a potential 5 on it. So that's gonna be it for, you know, your gear, for what you're wearing and stuff like that. That's gonna assist you in battle. I'm going to do a video later on in the future to show you where I got all these gears. Okay, now for art, smooth recovery to heal and double my counter. Primer to increase my attack. Then we're gonna move on to Ghost Walker. We already know what Ghost Walker for. Sliding Slinger to increase the counter. Screamer to recover my TP. 0-0 to also increase my counter. Black Butterfly as a attack, and Executioner to destroy them, obliterate them completely. Now it goes without saying, but I do believe I should just like even break down the the overdrive mechanics itself and show you how it works, what everything stands for, and how everything helps. And I think that will even give you a better understanding of how to, you know, use your overdrive. All right, so we're gonna pause a little bit, and then we're gonna go through it, and then we're gonna come back and do a live use of the mechanics of the overdrive. Alright people, what you're seeing on your screen right now is a activated overdrive, and let's go through the mechanics and what you're seeing right now with the overdrive. You see a circle, and in the middle you see a number, and then you see a little side white notch bar. Okay, let's start with the middle, which is the counter, not to be mistaken for your duration counter of the overdrive before it's done. That's actually the attack increase counter, and your job is going to be increasing that counter while also keeping your duration up, right? So in the middle, right there in the middle, you have the attack counter. All right, so that's going to come. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but right now I want to talk about your duration. Your duration now is right here on the side right here. It's that white little bar. It seems like it's nothing, but the thing about the duration is that, especially when you just start out, the duration finishes within like 5 seconds. If you don't know how to basically increase your duration, then your duration is going to just like, you know, finish quickly. And then it took me a while to even figure out, and I mean, I saw some videos, and even when I was watching videos on YouTube, it took me a good week to figure out how to do my duration properly, how to increase my duration, how to increase my attack counter while I was trying to keep my duration up. And one of the main things is that you want to make sure you also have your TP maxed out. You want to make sure that you have your arts maxed out, that you're using the arts that you're using now. A lot of people try to increase a lot of their arts. I usually just like only the arts that I know I'm definitely going to be using. Those are the arts that I basically max out. So also the next thing that I want to go into right now is how do the arts work to help you get your attack duration up, plus keep the duration counter from ending right now. All right, so let's get into that right now. Okay, now here's how we use our arts, right? I'm gonna tell you how each art works. So the purple art, you can use that to recover your TP, right? That's mainly for recovering your TP, and it's also a debuff to the enemy. Your green art is basically your buff. It basically, you know, buffs up your attack and anything else like that. Your blue aura is gonna help with your overdrive duration, and also aura is also a buff as well, basically. Your yellow and your orange arts, they're mainly for attacks. One thing I want to tell you is do not use a yellow art after our orange art, or orange art after a yellow art, because it will completely cancel out all the buffs that you've gotten. And as you can even see right here, every time you use your arts, the it's gonna tell you what are the buffs that you get, like the increased attack and this and that right now, right? So if you use a green into a yellow or orange art, then what you're doing is that you're just buffing your attack. If you use a aura into a green, you're buffing, you're basically buffing twice. And then you just use your yellow art and attack, or your orange art, whichever one you prefer. If you do a blue into a green, it's basically the same thing. It's an aura into a buff, and then you use your attack. If you use a purple into a yellow, which is a purple into attack, basically you're basically debuffing the enemy. But I'm going to tell you my strategy right now. Here's what I do when I basically activate Overdrive. I mainly spend time building up my counter, and the easiest way I've found to build up the counter is, you know, using smooth recovery, which doubles the counter. It heals you. Plus, if you have it on tertiary, you can basically use it 3 times. That's number 1. Number 2, then you have your Ghost Walker that helps you to keep your duration up. You have your primer, which also helps you to keep your duration up, and also gives you count up on your counter with your attack counter as well. And then after I'm done doing all of that, I just use my primer like 3 times, and then I just either use the executioner or the black butterfly to finish off the enemy. And you're going to basically see that right now. I'm going to do that right now for you guys. I'm not going to say anything. I want you to watch it. I want you to see it, and you know, then you can take from it what you will.
Yo.
And there you have it, folks. The reason why I spent longer than I should have, I could have ended it a long time ago, is because I was using the screamer, and I use the screamer to regain TP or to gain TP if I don't have any TP. So like I said before, make sure you max out all your arts, bring them to the tertiary cooldown level, because once you're in overdrive, the cooldown goes a lot faster, so you're able to reuse your arts much quicker. So I was using the screamer to regain TP, bring my TP, because my TP is about 15 or 1100, I believe, 11,000 I believe. So you know, you need to have 3000 TP to be able to actually activate your overdrive. See, as you can see, again, main thing that I'm doing is that I'm just using primer, I'm using smooth recovery 3 times to increase my counter, primer to basically do a buff and also increase the counter and the duration, ghost walker to basically avoid attacks. I don't really use attacks that much, it's not really important. I don't find it important. I see a lot of people, they like to one shot and stuff like that. I just wanna, I don't know, I'm not trying to drag out the fight or anything like that. I just kind of feel better that I don't have to go through the whole hassle of, like, you know, worrying about bringing up the counter and stuff like that. So my advice, people, tertiary cooldown your smooth recovery, tertiary cooldown your primer, tertiary cooldown your ghost walker. Those are the 3 main arts that you are definitely going to need in order to be successful with your overdrive. In terms of what I'm using, I'm actually using the drifter, because drifter allows you to have more slots for your sub arts and stuff like that. And in our next video, I'm going to go through this a little bit better. I'm going to explain a little bit better and go through the sub arts as well, what I have on for my sub arts as well. So anyway, people, thank you, keep watching, I hope you enjoy.
Open fire! Primer! Executioner! Look at that! Follow up with melee attacks! Screamer! 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 Executioner! Ghost Walker! Walker! Primer! Smooth recovery! Smooth recovery! 0-0! Screamer! Executioner! Ghost Walker! Primer! I'm in a good position! Open fire!
This can't be good.
They're off guard.
Fire
For
carnival!
melee attack.
Now for the finish.
Shadow strike.
Shield wall!
I owe you one. Now, melee attack.
Primer. Primer.
Side slash.
Smooth recovery. Smooth recovery. Smooth recovery.
I owe you one.
I am loving this. Ghostwalker. Screamer. Screamer.
Side slash.
Screamer.
Shadow strike.
Primer. 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 Ghostwalker. Sliding slinger. Primer. 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 Smooth recovery.
I owe you one. I owe you one. I owe you one.
Ghostwalker. 0-0.
Shadow strike.
0-0.
I owe you one.
Screamer. Executioner. Concentrate your fire on the big
I
sucker.
think there's hope.
Executioner.
I can't seem to get fired up.
Yeah, it's on now.
Side slash.
Almost there.
Smooth recovery.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's on now.
I owe you one.
Smooth recovery.
I owe you one.
Primer.
Shadow strike.
0-0. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't want it to end like this.
Didn't have to be like this. They're off guard. Scatter for
We're in
melee
high
attack.
gear
I
now.
owe you one.
Overdrive. Let's see you wobble.
Here we
Go
go.
for that.
Ghostwalker.
Carnival.
Appreciate it. Smooth recovery.
I owe you one. Move in and strike.
I am loving this.
Side
Primer.
slash.
Primer.
That's how it made. You
Ghostwalker.
can do it.
Sliding slinger.
Shadow strike. Nice.
Primer.
Way to do some damage.
Smooth recovery.
I owe you one.
Smooth recovery.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Damn it.
Appendage destroyed.
hit this
Move
together?
in and strike.